Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to the channel. You know it's your boy Making, and today I'm gonna be giving you part 54 of What If Naruto Went Dark, and make sure to look out for another episode today. Today is gonna be a double upload, so look out for an episode. And yeah, so remember, share to all your friends on your social media platform, and without further ado, like, subscribe, comment down below, turn on that bell notification, stay posted, and if you're new, switch across to the playlist and subscribe. So thank you all, and let's get straight into it. Start the intro. So last time we left off, Naruto reverted to a small fox because he used up so much of his power. He has reverted to a small fox, and he's gonna take a long while to heal, but he has to stay in that state for now. Meanwhile at Konoha, Minato was injured bad, and Danzo was named the acting Hokage. Minato has give his children the order to go and find the Raikage and tell him about the situation with Naruto, because Danzo will want a war against Naruto. He wants his ninjas to go out and find the injured Naruto and kill him, but Minato won't allow that because he knows that if they manage to kill Naruto, the people of Wave will retaliate, and Naruto's ninjas are quite strong, and that will lead to more death. So we give his children the mission, and they headed off to go find the Raikage before the Hokage summit. At Wave, we start this episode with Fu as she was huffing. She was in a forest at Wave. She was huffing as she was on the ground. She was facing off against the pains. They were good, but she was starting to get on the winning side as she has took out one of the pains, the one who always tried to put his hand on her head. He must be trying to do some messed up shit. So she decided to take him out first, and she was successful, but it was still hard with 4 of them on her alone. None of the other Wave ninjas were here. Fu was covered in her exoskeleton armor, so it was hard for them to break through with any rods or their kunais. And she has only received some minor damage, and she wants to get some help from the Wave, but she's afraid that they won't allow her to leave. And the big problem was that her exoskeleton armor had sped through half of her chakra results. To keep it up, always getting blasted back by them and taking small amount of damage because she has to put her chakra into her armor to keep it sturdy. You are a strong opponent, but I must end this. People will notice that you were gone for a very long time, said Pain. I would like to see you try, said Fu as she took to her stance. The robot Pain then charged at her as she rushed at him too with incredible speed. The moment they were about 5 feet away from each other, Fu flied up in the air as then she extended some long stingers from her back that went straight through the robot Pain's head and one through his back. As he dropped on the ground, she then pulled out her stingers and said, "You want to meet the new beetles that I can now use in battle," said Fu as the robot Pain was getting off the ground. Then the red girt on Fu's back. Beetles start to pour out of it as they rush over the robot Pain. "Well, here they are," said Fu. "These are my flesh-eating beetles," she said with a glare on her face, as Fu allowed the beetles to eat the Pain flesh, as they quickly devour his over flesh, showing his metal components underneath it. Fu then rushed at the other Pains. "Are you two ready?" Fu asked as the spiky-eared Pain, Tendo, stand in front of the other Pain, as Fu said, "So you're gonna take me head on? Then die," she said as she extended stingers from her back, as the Pain raised his hands and said, A mighty push. Fu was sent flying back as the armor teared off of her. All her beetles were blown away as Fu slammed down into the ground as she was digging right straight through. As she slammed into a tree, the tree managed to stop her. She then dropped face down as she tried to get up, but her body was stunned from that attack. What was that? Fu said as she coughed up some blood on the ground, suffering in pain. Her whole armor was torn off like it was nothing. She struggled to get up off the ground. As she finally made it up to her knees, she struggled to get to her feet. As she held down her head, as she tried to compose herself, her body was still stunned from that attack. I will get you back for that, said Fu. But she wasn't fast enough as the bigger pain came behind her and held her in a lock. Fu then felt herself getting weaker and weaker as Tendo looked at her as Fu said, "What are you doing to me?" As she felt all of her chakra leaving her body very quickly. "You must realize by now that I'm absorbing all of your chakra," said Tendo in front of her. "What? I thought you all were individual. So you all are one? You all are connected?" she asked. "Or you're all being controlled," she quickly assumed, making Pain get angry. "I know that my beetles weren't crazy when they told me that chakra was coming to you all from somewhere else. It doesn't matter what you find out. You won't be able to tell anyone because you will be dead soon," said Tendo. "Where is the other one of you?" asked Fu. "I know that Naruto-kun said that there is another one of you that could summon. Where is he?" "He's getting ready to take us to the Akatsuki base, somewhere far, far away," said Pain. "They will come for me," said Fu, "and when they do, they will stop you," she said. "They all can come back for a dead body if they wish. I will leave your corpse on their front door." "Fu! Fu!" shouted Sugetsu. "Everyone is at Fuka's house for dinner. Where the hell are you?" Sugetsu shouted out. Sugetsu then approached a field that they were fighting in. He then saw the situation in front of him. "You," said Sugetsu, as Sugetsu looks at the robe and remember what Dosu and Jugo told them about the Akatsuki members as he saw Fu in a headlock and two of them on the ground and one of them standing right in front of Fu. "You're all members of the Akatsuki," said Sugetsu. Fu then shouted at Sugetsu, "Sugetsu, get at least one of their bodies and take it to Karin, quickly!" Without any question, Sugetsu rushed to one of the dead bodies and grabbed it and pulled it tight. "What the hell is going on, Fu? What about you?" Sugetsu asked as he shouted at her. "Goodbye," she said, with a sad smile. Back at the Akatsuki hideout, the summoning Pain then rushed through some hand signs as he slammed his hand on the ground. Then, in an instant on the battlefield, Fu, the Pain that was holding her, and Tendo and the other body on the ground, poofed away like they were all summonings, but the one that Sugetsu was holding on didn't poof away as Sugetsu threw the body over his shoulder and run back to Fuka's house. Lots of the wave ninjas were in the house as all of them were having a good time as a huge meal was on the table as Jirobo looked at the table as his eyes water instead of his mouth. He was so happy because the feast looked so delicious. "Alright now, don't die of that dehydration with all the water leaking out of you," said Fuka as Jirobo was leaking from his mouth and his eyes were teared up and his face was streaming down because the food was in front of him looked like pure heaven as everyone burst in laughter. As he was about to go down and enjoy the delicious food, Sugetsu burst through the door as he dropped the body on the floor. "What the hell did you just do to my door?" shouted the angry Fuka. "Fu's been captured by the Akatsuki," said Sugetsu. All of the forks, the plates, everything dropped on the ground. Well, expect for one, Yummy, 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 said Jirobo, not hearing Suigetsu. Stop eating, you fat shit, shouted Teiwaya as she slapped Jirobo at the back of his neck. Fu has been captured. Kurama then got up with Naruto still in her arms. His body has not completely healed yet, and his vocal cords were all messed up from all the screams and pain, so right now he couldn't talk. He was still trapped in the fox form. When did this happen? Kurama shouted. Just now, outside of town, in the fields, I came to see her fighting against them. But they subdue her and then they all disappear like it was some summoning jutsu. What is that you just drop on the ground? Asked a scared Aisaraibi. Fu told me to bring one of the bodies here. I do not know why. She said I must bring it to Karin. When the small Naruto saw this, he went crazy as he ran up at Pain's body and started to bite it and whack it with his tails. The scene would have been funny, but now wasn't the time for laughing. Isn't that the person that Naruto faced before? Asked Bakura. Yes, Naruto said that he had ring eyes, said Kurama as she looked down at the eyes of the man, seeing that is the same description which Naruto told them. It's been a very long time since I saw those, thought Kurama as she looked at the Rinnegan. Yeah, Fu told me to take the body to Karin, but I don't know why though. Fu walked up to the body with everyone surrounding her. She looked at the body for a good 3 seconds and said, it's retrieving chakra from somewhere. What do you mean? Asked Haku. The body is receiving chakra from some source. I can see it clearly, said Karin, using her amazing sensory type abilities. Somebody must be controlling this body and he must still be near if. These things, she said, as she plucked out one of the piercings and held it up and said, this is still receiving chakra. Karin, lead the way. Kurama picked up Naruto and pushed him between her breasts so he could be near to her, so if anything, he wouldn't get in harm's way. All of the wave ninjas grabbed their weapons and headed out. Let's go get Fu back now, said Suigetsu. Outside of wave, inside a well-camouflaged tree, there were people inside. Konan, Nagato, and the rest of the pains that he controlled. Apparently, Nagato only sent 5, as he left one behind, the summoning one, so they all could be summoned back at the Akatsuki hideout. But he was the one who summoned them here. That is why he is nearby into the tree. Good job, Nagato, said Konan as she looked down at the unconscious Fu. Our chakra drained out. One step next to peace, said Nagato as Konan dispelled her jutsu and the tree started to peel away. As the machine that Nagato was in started to lift up as it started to walk as Konan wrapped the dead pains into her paper as they all of them glide right beside her as she and Nagato and the other pain that is holding Fu started to walk as Nagato then stopped in his giant machine, unable to walk himself. You feel that, he said. What is it? Said Konan. There are a lot of people coming this way. What? They couldn't have found out about your secret, about how you control the bodies. It is too soon, said Konan. She then started to feel the chakra signatures coming towards them. No, that is them. They found out, said Nagato. So, what do we do? Asked a worried Konan. Get out of here, Konan. I have a plan that will save us for now, said Nagato. Are you sure? She asked. I promise you I will return. Just go to the base that we will extract the Jinchuriki, said Nagato. Konan nodded as she turned her whole body into paper as all of them turned into small birds and they all flied away. Nagato then turned and saw all of the wave ninjas landed in front of him. Is that him, Suigetsu? Asked Karin. No, but those bodies on the ground. Suigetsu looked on the ground, also seeing Fu's body. There is Fu, right there, he shouted. So, you are the one that is controlling the bodies, said Kurama. I must congratulate you, said Nagato. No one has ever found out my secret. We didn't came here for your praise. We came here to get food and end you, said Kurama as Naruto growled from between her breasts, saying that he's totally agreeing with her. Because he cannot really speak, he just growl or do some things to gesture. You won't get the Jinchuriki, said Pain. Because we are already gone, said Nagato. Outside, far away, but still in a distance. The Pain of the summoning path placed his hands on the ground and said summoning jutsu, and Fu, that was being held by the Pain that absorbed your power and chakra, disappeared. Also, Nagato disappeared. Every Pain, the dead ones, disappeared, as the ninjas of Wave couldn't believe. Were they summons? But how did Fu? What is going on? Said a confused Kurama. Where the hell did they go? Asked Fuka. Karen tried her best, trying to find the Akatsuki members and Fu, but it was no luck. They are gone, said Karin. How could this have happened? Said Kurama. And how did they even get into Wave without us knowing? Asked Jugo. It is probably because of the form Naruto is in right now. He couldn't hold up the seals that sense intruder, said Zabuza, making Naruto growl. So, how are we going to find them? Asked a worried Yakumo. We can find them, but only with a lot of luck, said Karin, making the others curious with their plan. Explain, said Kurama. Karin then took out the iron rod as she said, this is a chakra receiver, and if we can get to a part of this world where the chakra will pick up, I can sense it from there. Kurama thought for a while, but this would take a long time if they had to search to see where the signal will pick up. But they had to do something. They had to find Fu. They can't just allow the Akatsukis to get away with this. And if they completed the extraction of Konoha, they would be one step closer to doing what they want to do. And Kurama had a good idea what they were trying to do. She looked down at Naruto and then an idea popped in her head. Karen, she said, you will lead a team that include Jugo, Yakumo, Zaku, Fuka, Pakura, and Anko. We shall go back to the body that we have in Wave and take as many of those chakra receivers possible. You shall search every area possible until you come up with a location of the enemy. When you do, she said, as she stopped talking and pulled out one of Naruto's Harshin kunai. Send chakra to this and it will activate a large teleportation seal and send it to another kunai that I have. And all of the Wave ninjas shall be teleported to your location with help. And we will raid the Akatsuki base together and get Fu back, she said. Karin then took the kunai as all of them headed off in top speed. Kurama looked down at Naruto, who was now sleeping, trying to regain his strength. He was pretty angry that he couldn't do anything because he was stuck in this damn form. I just hope this works before she's dead, said Kurama as she jumped off into the trees, thinking about Fu and Konoha. The next day, Samui, Amoy, and Karu were jumping in the trees as they were told to meet up with the Raikage at a destination for the summit of the Kages at Konoha. But they had no idea that they were being tailed by Hinata, Minato, Menma, and Yamato. Team Samui landed on a snowy ground, feeling the chakra of the Raikage, knowing that he was close by. Sure enough, the Raikage and his group landed in front of them. Raikage, we have returned from Konoha. Samui, it seems that you have been tailed. What? She said as she turned around. All of the Konoha ninjas came out of hiding and stood in front of them. Why are you all here? Asked Dadori. Raikage's eyes widened when he saw Menma and Mito, knowing exactly who they were. You are his children, he yelled. I cannot believe that the fourth Hokage sent his own children to kill me. That must be some sort of insult, said a now angry Raikage. Please hear us out, we are not here to kill you, just to give you a warning for your benefit, said Yamato. How do I know that you're telling the truth? Said Karu rather loudly. It's about Naruto no Yoko, Mito stated. What is it about? I am going to find that boy and kill him 3 times over. I don't care if he's your brother. I am going to end him, said the Raikage. No please, said Mito. Don't try and do that, because you can't kill him. He will kill you all instead. He is too strong. What are you saying? That we are so weak that we cannot get rid of one simple kid? Said the Raikage. No one is saying that. We are here to warn you about Danzo and what he may tell you in the Kage Summit. My father is too weak to attend the summit because of my brother's last attack on Konoha. I have heard, said A. So shouldn't that encourage you all to increase your search for him? He destroyed Konoha by himself. Why are you still defending him? Because if you go up against him and you all die, Konoha doesn't want to be blamed for the damage that Naruto might cause. He's strong, probably the strongest person alive now. No one can win one-on-one with Naruto. He's just too good. What we don't want is for Danzo to convince you all to search for him and try to stop him yourselves. The Raikage then simply laughed out. You think I'm scared of a stupid boy? Said the Raikage as lightning circled around him. I shall end this Naruto, and when I do, Konoha will owe me a favor for ending this stupid boy from threatening their village. Now, I don't have anything else to say to you, said the Raikage. But guys, I'm gonna end this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, well, you're gonna get it. So let's look out for it today, guys, and I hope you enjoy. And I'm out for now, guys. Peace.